Hey guys, my name is Matumio, and today's challenge, a lot of you wanted me to use the defibrillators to slay my enemies in Battlefield 4. I think I may have stumbled across a glitch that causes the defibs to turn into a force field gadget that will almost always repel every single knife attack in the game. When I was getting gameplay for today, I noticed that every so often when I had my paddles fully charged, if an enemy went for a knife kill on me, for some random reason, they were just falling over dead, almost instantaneously. The first time it happened, I thought it was just a fluke. Like, maybe I got lucky and initiated my paddles, so I shocked them at the last moment. Maybe there was some lag on the server that caused the issue. But then it kept happening. It happened over and over and over again. And I thought to myself, is this a glitch? Is this a feature of the shock paddles that I just did not realize? And so I went into an empty server to test it out, and lo and behold, if the enemy attacks you from the front or the back, the sides don't work for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why that is the case, but as long as they are attacking you from the front or behind, and you have your paddles fully charged, they will die instantly. It will appear that as they're about to go through the animation, you'll be thrown back as if you're about to get stabbed in the jugular, but at that last second, the charge goes off, you hear it go off, and they're down on the ground having a nice little nap. I'm sure that this is just a glitch. I'm assuming this went under the radar of their QA team, but at least the way things work right now, if you know an enemy wants to go for a humiliating knife kill on you, I'm not exactly sure how you would know he's going for a knife on you, but if you do, and you have a couple of seconds to charge up your paddles, he is going to be in for a very humiliating, rude awakening. It's glorious when you're actually able to pull it off. As for the actual challenge itself, it took me a while to figure out how to make this gadget reliable at killing my enemy. I wanted to make sure that if I was able to close the gap on someone, if I was able to get directly next to them, that I could secure the kill 100% of the time, and it was going to be a reliable kill. Back in Battlefield 3, that's not the way that the defibrillators work. Like, there were moments, I did a challenge just like this back in that game. There were moments when I would shock an enemy a good 4 or 5 times before I was actually able to take them out. There were other moments when I just ran up to someone and the first paddle just killed them instantly. It seemed to be completely random. It was a nightmare to go through that challenge, and so I was hoping that in Battlefield 4, things would be a little bit more reliable. My first attempt was, of course, to just charge at the enemy and shock paddle them without actually charging up the defibs. I assumed that if this was the way, or the most reliable way at killing an enemy, that it would be fantastic. I wouldn't have to go through that Macarena dance charging up the paddles. I could just run up to someone, paddle them really quickly, get the kill, and then be on my way seeking out another target. Thank God that it's not actually the way that the defibs work, because if you think about it, there would really be no reason to knife people in Battlefield 4 anymore. Like, if you're running as the assault class and you had the defibs as your gadget, instead of going for the humiliating knife kill animation, leaving yourself exposed, or even running the risk that at the last second they turn around, giving them the opportunity to go through a counter knife, you could just bust out your defibs and quickly paddle them, not having to charge them up, and getting a free kill that way. It would be not overpowered, but it would pretty much make the knife and the knife animation obsolete. Of course, after a couple of tries with this method, I realized that it wasn't going to bear fruit. This was not going to be my reliable way at killing my enemies, and so I moved on to the second tactic. As long as you charge up your paddles to 100%, you hear that beep that notifies you that if you revive a teammate off of the ground, they're going to be revived at 100% health. That is the most reliable way at killing your enemy. As long as you're able to close the gap, get directly next to them, you charge up your paddles to full, and you nail them, you hit them right in the chest, they're going to be down on the ground having a nice little nap. The maps that I had the most success on for this challenge, unsurprisingly, was Flood Zone and Pearl Market. They allowed me a lot of different routes and avenues to try and flank my enemies, and really the best thing about them is that they're all close quarter combat. If I have to run out in the open for a good couple of seconds, it usually was going to result in my death. Like, the enemy would have to be fairly oblivious to their surroundings to not check the left and the right every so often. And so being able to duck in and out of doorways, getting into the little alcoves that is just notorious on Pearl Market, it was just a perfect arena and playground for this particular challenge. One thing that I love to do was bait the enemy into charging a doorway or to close the gap on me, assuming that they were going to be able to get the kill no problem, and then as they round the door, having my fully charged paddles just planted directly into their face. Didn't happen very often. Most people are smart. They know that if an enemy, is around the corner, probably shouldn't just run headlong into the action. Who knows what's behind that corner? But when I was able to pull it off, I had a huge smile on my face, and it was definitely worth it. The last thing that I wanted to talk about before I take off for today is an idea that I had for the defibs. This is an idea that I've been thinking about for quite some time. It has strengths that I really enjoy, but it also comes with some weaknesses. And so I wanted to run this idea by you guys. I thought that it would be a fun topic to talk about, and because I'm all about thinking about Battlefield 24/7, I thought you guys would enjoy this discussion as well. I know a large complaint right now is that, well, the Assault class is very powerful. It's arguably one of the best classes in the game, not just because you can revive your teammates, which is a huge advantage, but also because you can give them health or give yourself health whenever you want. Not only that, and a large complaint that I hear a lot of Battlefielders have, is whenever you do get revived, it always seems that it's at 20% health. Sure, I'm grateful that you were able to pull it off. I'm glad that you went for the revive because it gives me a second chance at life, but usually that chance doesn't last very long. Like if any enemy sneezes in your general direction a couple of seconds after you did get revived, you're gonna be back at the spawn screen very, very quickly. And so the idea that I wanted to talk about with you guys is why not make it a requirement to revive your teammate that you have to charge up your paddles to full to actually pull off a revive. No longer can you get those quick little 20% revives off anymore. If this was the way that the system was in place, it would kill a lot of birds with one stone. First of all, you would no longer have those annoying moments where you're about to give a 100% kiss of life to your teammate, but then the last second, a greedy assault player or an oblivious assault player comes on in and gives them the 20% quick revive. I know it's happened to me on numerous occasions. I want to slap those players when it does happen, and this would completely throw that out the window because it would no longer be available or an option when using the defibs. Secondly, no more Rambo revives. It won't even be possible. Like if a teammate wants to make the conscious decision to bring you up, they need to know that the area is clear because for those couple of seconds while they try to bring you up, they're gonna be vulnerable themselves. And then lastly, I just feel like this would be a great way to put this gadget in line with all of the other kit's gadgets in the game. If you think about it, you are bringing someone back to life. If an enemy took the time to kill one of you, you bring him back, it's now a 2 versus 2 once again, and that is a huge advantage into your favor. The downside of this though, and I realize this could be a very large issue with this type of system, is that we already have a problem with players not reviving their teammates, and this could amplify the issue even more. I've had moments, and I'm sure you have as well, where 4 or 5 assault players are dancing around on my body and none of them go for the revive. Maybe they just don't have that gadget. Maybe they all are running the M320 and the medic bag combo. That is a distinct possibility, but if we nerfed the defibs even more or added this restriction, it could amplify the issue not tenfold, who knows how much it would be amplified, but it could cause even more of these frustrating moments where assault players just won't go for the revive because they don't want to leave themselves vulnerable. And so I'd like to get your guys' take on this. I'm not 100% sold on the idea. I like the concept of it. I think that the idea of it is a good one, but I'm not 100% sold because of the issue that I just explained. So let me know what you guys think about that down below. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's challenge. I hope you enjoyed. If you have a setup that you would like me to try next, be it a weapon with a terrible combination of attachments or a gadget that you would like me to use exclusively, let me know down below in the comment section. This is a series that is based off of your guys' ideas, so let me know. But until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.